Hello everybody, this is the Taste at the Tavern and I am your host Gonzo. Thank you for watching, and today I am making a favorite at the table, a Elven Lembas Bread. Now this is often a dish that's used for sustaining one on a very long travel. Traditionally, whenever made with authentic Elven ingredients, which are unfortunately kind of hard to get a hold of, you can take one bite and it's supposed to sustain you for an entire day's travel. Well, this recipe isn't going to do that, but it will sustain you through your afternoon tea. What I have here in terms of ingredients is going to be these basic things here. First, we're going to start with 2.5 cups of flour, a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon, right? Yep, teaspoon of baking soda, not soda, powder. Don't want to mess those up. It'll ruin your whatever you're making. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 cup of softened butter, a 1/2 cup, right? No, a 1/4 cup of honey, 1 egg. Let's see, we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 cup of milk or heavy cream, depending on what you'd like to use, and an assortment of chopped nuts and dried fruit for the filling. Now, I don't remember there being a filling in the original recipe of Lembas bread, but what I like about having the filling is it'll give it some body and it'll make it a little bit more substantial, kind of like how Lembas bread is supposed to be. So that is how we're going to start it, and we're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. Very first thing, because the process of actually putting together the ingredients and getting the dough together doesn't take all that long, you're going to want to go ahead and start by preheating your oven. I'm going to go ahead and preheat mine to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to go ahead up here. I should have looked at how this complicated ass thing works before just starting it. Yep, 350. Good to go. And while that is preheating, we're going to go ahead and get together our dry ingredients. So, into a large mixing bowl like the one I already prepared up here, we're going to whisk together our flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, and cinnamon. So in goes the flour. You want to get a little closer? In goes the sugar, the baking powder, the salt, and the cinnamon. And it's not super staying together coming out of these little plastic cups I have, but it works just fine. Combine them together. Make sure everything is coming together nice and well integrated. And next step will be the wet ingredients, where I'm going to get another bowl for. In a separate bowl, you're going to get a different... I'm going to laugh all the way through this, I hope you know. Oh, my recipe turned off. What is it? Oh, wonderful. Hitch already. We're gonna get in a separate bowl, beat together the butter, the egg, and the vanilla extract until it's all smooth and incorporated. So an egg. You want to open it on its side so it cracks perfectly down the middle like that. The butter, which we already pre-softened, so it's perfect. And each stick of butter is a 1/2 cup, if you didn't already know that. It's very helpful. I saw a post one time where like people who are like from Europe don't do stick butter. They don't have it, so whenever they would see recipes from America and say that they had stick butters, It would be like 1 pound sticks of butter. And that's what they were imagining that we were putting in everything, which is completely nuts. A pound, like, oh, a whole pound of, like 3 sticks of butter going into a recipe. They thought we were just swimming in the stuff. But hey, that's all right. I do swim in the stuff a little bit. Now, one teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I'm going to be very careful not to do too much. And I'm going to incorporate that with our whisk. If you want to get a little closer look at that. Now we're using a clear vanilla extract for those of you who are wondering where the extract went. This might be easier said than done. Beating this together until creamy. Oh.
A bit of pause.
Perhaps. So to beat this smooth, it's going to require a little bit of elbow grease. The problem is I don't really think that the butter was all the way soft, so this will take a little bit of time. This is the part they usually cut out of real fancy cooking shows. Like, I don't think Babish is gonna spend 12 minutes beating butter and eggs together, though I'm sure he has. Oh. This is not, I don't know if this is gonna get smooth or not. Okay, right now. Could I have used a stand mixer for this? Probably. Am I regretting not doing that? Yes. Oh, man.
Oh, hi,
You know what? This is my puppy dog. She gets most of the scraps, even though she's not supposed to. She'll demand them. Are you gonna say anything for the camera? She's not gonna say anything. Sometimes I swear that dogs can talk, but they just choose not to because then we'd have to give them jobs. And some of them already get jobs, so they're already shit terrified. You know what? That's probably good enough. I will mix it more when we add the other liquids because it's at this point that we're gonna add the honey and the milk to the wet mixture. So, in goes the honey. And this is raw and filtered honey from a local farm, which is wonderful stuff. The unfiltered stuff is the stuff that you want because it doesn't take out all the good stuff, all the vitamins and minerals and things that are good for your body. Honey is incredibly antibacterial. It's really great for you. Of course, too much of anything is bad. But then we're gonna add the half cup of milk. And we're once again going to stir to combine. Yeah, this helped. Not the most appetizing thing right off the bat, but it's okay. It's really not going smooth. I really hoped it would be.
It'll come together when you put it. Get your hands in there.
Yeah. So little by little, it says to add the dry to the wet. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm used to adding the wet to the dry. That might be stupid, but I don't know.
What does the recipe say?
The recipe says dry to wet, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. A little bit of this at a time. I'm going to combine the dry to the wet. This will be a little bit of a process, so we might cut here if we want.
Go.
And once we've combined the ingredients, I'm just gonna go ahead and get my hands involved here. It's going to be a soft dough, so don't worry about it being like shaggy. It needs to be light because it's going to be this light, flaky biscuit that comes out of the oven. And this is getting all stuck to my hands. It's a lot of sticky ingredients. Oh man, that's a lot of stick. That's a lot of stick. I don't want half the ingredients to be stuck to my fingers. I don't know what to do.
Just keep mixing.
Ah! It's only going to get more sticky. My autistic ass does not like sticky at all. I did not get the slime video autism. I got the please don't touch me autism. But it is coming together.
I think it looks good.
I really want to add more flour to this, but it's not in the
No,
recipe.
don't do it. Now what?
Now we need to get this onto a lightly floured surface. So, yeah. So now that we got our dough incorporated together, it's kind of sticky. So I'm taking a couple of measures to make sure it doesn't stick to my countertop. What we have here is a cheesecloth or like a regular like kitchen towel that I'm now going to pretty heavily flour and really get it in to that towel. I'm taking extra measures to make sure it doesn't stick because that is a sticky dough. I've said it once, I've said it probably 7 times. Gotta take a little bit more flour and really flour this rolling pin that I'm about to use, because what we're going to be doing is turning this dough out onto the surface and rolling it out until it's about a 1/2 inch thick. Now that seems a little bit thick, but I'm trusting the recipe. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and turn this dough out. It's already significantly less sticky than it was while we were mixing it. There we go. I'm going to make sure I get some of this straggly bits out. And now I'm going to throw a little bit more flour over the top. That's probably too much, but that's okay. And we're gonna roll this out. As much flour as I put on this thing, it's already sticking to the rolling pin. So just a heads up, elves, they like sticky stuff. Say why. A little bit more flour. Bring this out. It's already a little bit too thin.
Sing a song for us, Aaron.
Well, I mean, like whenever I'm baking stuff, I also end up humming because I'm thinking about God knows what while I'm doing this. For some reason, I was humming that one song from Aladdin is stuck in my head. I don't know why, because I've never actually seen that movie. I haven't seen a lot of Disney movies. I was just talking to my friends the other day about it, where they went through like all the different Disney films that have come out, and I realized that I've seen a lot of like the direct-to-DVD sequels to those movies, but not very many of the actual movies. I mean, I've seen like Lion King, but everyone's seen Lion King. And I've seen like The Jungle Book 2, The Lady and the Tramp 2. What's up?
What about this stuff?
Oh yeah, this is going to be next. I'm getting sidetracked. Next, we're gonna want to cut this dough into 3-inch by 3-inch squares. Now, I'm gonna
Pizza cutter.
I'm gonna try to square this up a little bit more so that it's as neat as possible. Go figure, I'm not a professional cook or baker. I'm just enthusiastic. And no one seems to complain at the tavern. They're like, "Hey, your food is the best. You should make a cooking show on the Magic Network or something." I was like, fucking cool. Maybe I got something here. That looks pretty good. I think this is going to make about 6 even squares. About. So get your circular knife, aka pizza cutter. I'm going to just go down the middle, and then across, and across. Now, are those 3 by 4? Probably not. But what I can do there is, I think I'll do a couple of these just as is. No, I'll do all of them with the fruit in the. I've got this here. Set these aside. These are going to be nice. So I'm going to sort of make a little bit of an indenture in the middle with the chopped nuts. You're going to want to get a close up of that. And the dried fruit. And it's at this point that we're going to fold the corners of these together like so. And that is going to be one raw lembas bread. I'm going to quickly do the same with all the others, and then we'll be putting these right into the oven. So here we have them. We have our lembas bread dough pieces. Now these are a damn sight more rustic looking than those lifelong elven bakers, but I don't have 1,000 years to dedicate to the craft of baking. I have hungry people waiting on these already. So I think as a human approximation, these are going to be just fine and fully serviceable. So our oven over here is ready to go, and we're going to go ahead and put these in. So follow with me here. Oh, I need to, can you actually pause for a second? So these are going to go into the oven here for 15 to 20 minutes. In that time, they're going to get nice and golden brown, but keep an eye on them just because they may burn on the edges. So just be watchful. And that's how long ours are going to be in the oven. Look how these are coming after 15 minutes. They're not quite golden brown yet, but I am a fan of how these are coming along. I'm going to give them a little bit of extra love in the oven, and then we'll see how they come out in a few seconds. All right, and it is that time. Gonna go ahead and take these out. We decided to do these for the full 20 minutes as the recipe says. And look how these turn out. Like I said, I don't have any of that fancy enchanted elven flour that makes these like super densely nutritious. But in terms of a fancy biscuit, those look pretty damn good. We're gonna let these rest for 5 minutes and then we'll have our taste test. So, whenever you normally have these on the road, you don't normally have the creature comforts of being in the tavern. But this is a tavern. It's why the recipe's a little bit different. It's why I'm a little different. While I have taken things like this on the road with me, things like hardtack and or salty biscuits that don't really taste good but keep you on your feet, these are a lot better. As for a pairing, if you are being responsible, probably just a regular old coffee. But because we run a tavern here, I have with me a really nice little lager, which I'm going to pull up here. Where's my tab? Hold on. Can you pause for a second? Gotta get this here. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Gonna go ahead, pour this up. Am I a bartender? No, I'm a cook. But that looks beautiful, doesn't it? So now we're gonna try one of these. I'm gonna have the little one because this is kind of like the baker's runt. Get these up, and man, did these come together perfectly. It doesn't feel crumbly at all. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. But all this lovely fruit and nuts that are on the inside. So now for the moment of truth. Really perfect for traveling. Not overly sweet to the point where it becomes like a cookie or a cake, but just the perfect little snack to have with some tea Maybe a little butter on top would be really, really nice. But just like Merry and Pippin did on their great journey, I think I could eat 12 of these. Thank y'all for joining, and I'll see you next time in Taste of the Tavern.